Parliament allocates resources on behalf of the people of Kenya. All right, when the budget proposals are presented, the Parliament is the one that determines what portion goes to which sector. Therefore, Parliament allocates resources, including resources that will be shared between the national government and the county governments. But we are disturbed, and many people are angry, that what seems to be emanating from Parliament is more of what they can allocate to themselves. All right? That is very dangerous for the country. Because if we are the legislators, Kenyans voted for a new constitution, and in the process they created entities like the Salaries Review Commission and so forth. These were created through a legislative process, and they were given different mandates defined, both in the constitution and in the law. So it is very sad when we see that Parliament wants to rubbish some of those institutions, and they want to continue allocating themselves higher allowances every other time. And this is why I asked one day, where does this Parliament reside? Where does it sit? Where is it? Because if we know that there are high levels of unemployment, we know very well that Kenya is reeling from a high public debt. We know very well that our universities are underfunded. We know very well that our hospitals are not getting medicine to serve the people. But Parliament chooses not to tackle those issues, but to talk about what allowances they can get. They are doing the Kenyan people a lot of disservice, and this kind of greed is not healthy, and they are setting the wrong example. And this example has now crept into the county assemblies. This is why we are now having the assemblies of Taita Taveta, Kisumu, and others beginning to say they also want more for what they would call their personal direction, and not for what the people of Taita Taveta want. You are threatening the governor. You are telling him we cannot move with this kind of resources unless you give us so much more under our own control. So these kind of things are not healthy for the country. It's undermining devolution. It can destroy devolution. And this is why Parliament must rethink, and they must go to some form of redemption to find out what is wrong and why they are no longer serving the interests of the people of Kenya. The Big Four agenda will not materialize unless he stamps his authority totally on the war against corruption. We don't want to see sideshows. To be honest, Tanga Tanga is a sideshow, Kieleweke is a sideshow. Those are amorphous organizations that have no ideology. It's just politicians moving in packs, in different packs, and going out there and saying whatever they want to say. But in reality, those sideshows are gimmicks to delay and to divert people's attention against the war on corruption. So I would want to plead with you people in the media. This is also the time for you to shape the destiny of this country. Don't focus on the noises coming from Tanga Tanga or the noises coming from Kieleweke. I think let us focus. What happened to the issue of the dams? Let us not lose sight. Keep our eyes on the ball. What happened to the monies in the various county governments that are missing? What has happened to the issues that we are seeing around allocation of sections of the port of Mombasa in a manner that is not transparent. We are not saying privatization is bad, but is it being done transparently? In your papers, in your media, you ran a letter written by the ambassador of Japan, signed by the ambassador of Japan, a joint letter signed by the ambassador of Germany, signed by the ambassador of UK, and signed by the ambassador of France, questioning the process through which certain privatization is taking place in the port of Mombasa. Focus there. Focus there. Those are the issues. Those are the issues. Because how many people does the port of Mombasa employ? If this thing is not done and people understand, what are the level of redundancies that we are likely to see? These are the issues we should be looking at. There were task forces that were said were going to sort out sugar. Where are they? You remember I kept on saying the task force will not take us anywhere? We need a judicial commission of inquiry to get to the root bottom of this. I don't know whether you people in the press think I made sense, or are you realizing that maybe now I'm making sense because I kept on hammering these kind of points? Why is it that some of the issues we raise, when it comes, wino unakwisha kwa kalamu zenu, the ink disappears? Don't let the ink disappear on the critical issues affecting this country.
Who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods.